Off the coast of Nova Scotia lies a small, windswept island shrouded in fog and centuries of legend. This is Oak Island. For more than 200 years, it has been the site of the world's longest and most expensive treasure hunt. The story begins in 1795, when a young man named Daniel McGinnis noticed a peculiar circular depression in the ground. Above it, a thick tree branch had been sawn off, showing signs of a block and tackle having been used. Believing they had stumbled upon the hiding place of pirate treasure, McGinnis and two friends began to dig. They were unprepared for the incredible engineering and the deep mystery that lay beneath the surface of the island. This was not a simple buried chest. It was the entrance to something far more complex, something intentionally hidden. They had just uncovered the top of what would come to be known as the money pit, a structure that has baffled engineers, drained fortunes, and defied every attempt to unlock its ultimate secret. The mystery of Oak Island had officially begun, and the world would never look at this small island the same way again. Just a few feet down, the boys hit their first obstacle, a layer of carefully laid flagstones. Beneath the stones, the shaft continued, but at 10 feet, they encountered something truly unexpected. They found a platform of solid oak logs embedded firmly into the clay walls of the pit. This was no mere hole. It was a deliberately constructed shaft designed to protect whatever lay at the bottom. After immense effort, they removed the logs and continued digging, their excitement growing with every foot. But at 20 feet, they found another platform of oak logs, and then again at 30 feet. Every 10 feet, a new barrier. The builders had gone to extraordinary lengths to seal this pit. The sheer scale of the project was beyond the capabilities of a few pirates burying a single chest. After reaching the 30-foot mark, exhausted and unable to proceed, the young men abandoned their search for a time. But the story of their discovery spread, igniting a flame of curiosity and greed that would soon engulf the island. Years later, the Onslow Company was formed, a syndicate of wealthy men captivated by the tale of the money pit. They returned to the pit with proper equipment and manpower, determined to reach the bottom and claim the prize. They dug past the 30-foot mark, finding more oak platforms at 40, 50, and 60 feet. Between the platforms, they found layers of charcoal, putty, and strange coconut fiber, a material not native to Nova Scotia. Then, at a depth of 90 feet, their shovels struck something different, not wood, but stone. It was a large, flat slab, about 2 feet long and 1 foot wide, covered in strange, cryptic symbols. This became known as the 90-foot stone. For years, people have tried to decipher its message. One popular translation reads, 40 feet below, 2 million pounds are buried, a tantalizing clue. Energized by the discovery, the crew decided to rest for the night and continue their work the next day. They believed they were on the verge of the greatest discovery of their lives, just one night away from fortune. When the workers returned the next morning, they were met with a devastating sight. The pit was filled with water. They had unwittingly triggered the island's most ingenious and cruel defense, a sophisticated booby trap. Later investigations revealed a series of carefully constructed tunnels leading from the nearby Smith's Cove directly to the money pit. These weren't natural formations. They were man-made, designed with a specific purpose, to flood the shaft if anyone dug too deep. Bailing the water out was useless. The Atlantic Ocean was an inexhaustible foe, and the pit refilled as fast as they could empty it. The Onslow Company was defeated. The treasure, if it existed, was now protected by the ocean itself. For the next 2 centuries, every subsequent expedition would face this same heartbreaking challenge. They tried building dams, freezing the ground, and digging parallel shafts, but the island's defenses always proved superior. The money pit wasn't just a hole to hide treasure. It was an elaborate, self-defending machine. The original builders had anticipated every move, creating a puzzle that no one has been able to solve. The hunt for Oak Island's treasure has not just been a story of engineering and frustration, it has also been one of tragedy. An old legend surrounds the island, a chilling prophecy that 7 individuals must lose their lives before the treasure can be found. Over the years, the island has tragically claimed its victims, bringing the prophecy closer to fulfillment. The most heartbreaking story is that of the Restall family in the 1960s. Robert Restall was a full-time treasure hunter. One fateful day in 1965, Robert was overcome by fumes while working in one of the shafts. His son, and 2 other workers who rushed to his aid, were also overcome by the hazardous conditions. In a matter of minutes, 4 men were lost, a devastating blow to the treasure hunting community. This incident added a dark chapter to the island's history, highlighting the very real dangers involved in the quest. To date, 6 individuals have perished in pursuit of the Oak Island treasure, leaving one final part of the prophecy. It begs the question, is any treasure worth the ultimate price? The island remains silent, holding its secrets. In 2006, the story of Oak Island took a dramatic turn, entering a new high-tech era. Brothers Rick and Marty Lagina, who had been fascinated by the mystery since they were boys, purchased a controlling interest in the island. Unlike many before them, they brought not just passion, but also significant financial resources and a scientific approach. They assembled a team of experts, geologists, engineers, historians, and divers, all dedicated to solving the puzzle. Using technologies unimaginable to previous searchers, they began to systematically investigate the entire island. Massive caissons were sunk into the ground, ground-penetrating radar scanned beneath the surface, and water samples were chemically analyzed. Their work was not just focused on the money pit, but on the entire island as a complex historical site. They were determined to find answers, whether it was treasure or simply the truth behind the 200-year-old legend. The Lagina brothers' quest reignited global interest in Oak Island, turning it into a modern-day archaeological drama. With new tools and unwavering resolve, they began to uncover clues that had been hidden for centuries. The modern search has yielded some of the most compelling evidence in the island's history, not gold, but priceless clues. In the island's swamp, they unearthed a Spanish coin dating to the 17th century, hinting at an early European presence. They also discovered more coconut fiber, carbon dated to a time long before the original 1795 discovery. One of the most astonishing finds was a lead cross, of a design possibly linked to the Knights Templar. This artifact, found on the beach, is potentially hundreds of years old and suggests a pre-Columbian presence on the island. Another discovery was a gemstone-adorned brooch, a beautiful and intricate piece of jewelry found buried in the soil. In the soil from deep boreholes, they found evidence of human bone fragments, further deepening the mystery. At Smith's Cove, they uncovered a large U-shaped wooden structure, possibly part of the original flood tunnel system. Each find is a puzzle piece, but they don't yet form a clear picture. Instead, they make the mystery even more complex. These artifacts prove that something significant happened on Oak Island long ago, but what and why? Perhaps the most tantalizing and frustrating chapter in the Oak Island saga is the story of Borehole 10X. Drilled in the 1970s not far from the money pit, this shaft hit a large cavity deep underground. An underwater camera was lowered into the flooded shaft, capturing grainy black and white images that ignited imaginations. The footage appeared to show several man-made objects, including what looked like treasure chests. Even more chillingly, the camera seemed to capture what some interpreted as a severed hand floating in the water. Divers made several attempts to explore the cavern, reporting near-zero visibility and powerful, disorienting currents. Tragically, the shaft collapsed in on itself before any objects could be recovered, sealing the cavern once more. The Lagina brothers have since reinvested heavily in 10X, re-drilling and exploring the area with modern technology. They confirmed the existence of a man-made cavern, but the tantalizing objects from the 1970s footage remain elusive. 10X stands as a perfect metaphor for the entire Oak Island quest, a mystery that offers glimpses of an answer, only to snatch them away. So, who could have built such a complex structure, and what could possibly be worth this much effort? The simplest theory is pirates, like the infamous Captain Kidd, burying a massive hoard of stolen treasure. However, the sheer engineering complexity of the pit seems far beyond the means of a typical pirate crew. A more elaborate theory points to the Knights Templar, the medieval order of warrior monks. Fleeing persecution in Europe, they may have used their vast wealth and engineering knowledge to hide sacred relics. Could the treasure be the Holy Grail itself, or the Ark of the Covenant, hidden in the New World? Another theory suggests the pit holds the lost jewels of Marie Antoinette, smuggled out of France during the Revolution. Some even believe it hides the lost manuscripts of Francis Bacon, proving he was the true author of Shakespeare's plays. Each theory is as compelling as the next, fueled by the strange artifacts found on the island over the years. The truth remains buried, guarded by layers of oak, clay, and the relentless flow of the Atlantic Ocean. After more than 2 centuries of searching, the ultimate question remains, what is truly at the bottom of the money pit? Is it a priceless treasure that will rewrite history, a hoard of gold and jewels beyond imagination? Or is it the world's most elaborate hoax, a brilliantly engineered trap with nothing at the end? Could the pit itself be the treasure, a decoy to distract from something hidden elsewhere on the island? The money spent searching has certainly exceeded any treasure that could realistically be recovered. Yet, the allure of the unknown, the chance to solve a centuries-old puzzle, keeps people coming back. The Lagina brothers and their team continue their quest, inching closer to the truth with every borehole and every artifact. Perhaps the real treasure was never gold or jewels, but the story itself, a mystery that has captivated the world. For now, the island holds its secrets close, waiting for the day they might finally be revealed. The money pit remains an enigma, a testament to human ingenuity, obsession, and the enduring power of a great story.